dear souls. So this is Agape from Enter Agape. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. And today I would like to tell you a little bit more and encourage you to study A Course in Miracles. And actually my intention was to go along with the topic of manifesting according to Course in Miracles, because this is like my revelation recently, that since I've replaced a word miracles I change it into the word of manifestation, then the whole book became much easier for me to comprehend, and it's like a big wow for me after more than 3.5 years of studying the course. This has now much more meaning to me, and things become more tangible, and I actually understand more deeper. And I'm not saying it's not about miracles, and I'm not saying it's not about spirituality and the way of undoing all the guilt and shame and forgiving the world, but I'm saying it's just another layer which I find really interesting, especially with the manifestation topic, which is like really on recently. And I myself had done many courses about that, and I can see now how it all combines in this book. And so my intent was to get deeper into the topic, but as I was doing this and underlying some of the phrases, I learned that there's so much depth in this edition that I want to share with you guys, and I decided just to randomly read out some stuff, and we will see how it goes, because I feel this is something some of you there probably needs to hear, and this is very high vibrational. This is how I perceive it. It's also it's been also confirmed with the scale of consciousness by Dr. David R. Hawkins, that it oscillates around 500, which is like unconditional love. So it's like a very high vibrational stuff. So even reading it aloud rises your own vibration, which I really advise to do, encourage you to do. And for those of you who are not English speaking, I suggest buying an English edition. It's really complicated with the religious language, and I think that's the main problem with Course in Miracles, that is really a religious language, and somehow it can in ways be harder for you to interpret it and get to the core, because you have this feeling like talking or listening to someone in church, like a preaching maybe. I'm just gonna open it randomly and see what I've underlined and how it resonates. Okay, so the first thing I've opened says, "You are the work of God, and His work is wholly lovable and wholly loving. This is how a man must think of himself in his heart, because this is what he is." So yeah, first thing that opened up is a reminder, and you find it probably in every page of this book, to remind you of your own power and to make you remember that you are one with a creator, so you can also use his power to create heaven on earth as you were designed to. Perfect love casts out fear. If fear exists, then there is not perfect love, but only perfect love exists. If there is fear, it produces a state that does not exist. Yeah, so it's like fear versus love, and we find it a lot in Course in Miracles. In a way, you need to remind yourself constantly that when you are not in love, you are in fear, and when you are in fear, means it's not real, and you cannot create the life you want, because you are consumed by the lower energies. Okay, let's see what else. You can do anything I ask. I have asked you to perform miracles and have made it clear that miracles are natural, correlative, healing and universal. There is nothing they cannot do, but they cannot be performed in the spirit of doubt or fear. When you are afraid of anything, you are acknowledging its power to hurt you. Remember that where your heart is, there is your treasure also. So it says clearly, think this kind of denial is not to concealment but to correct. Your right mind depends on it. Denial of error is strong defense of truth, but denial of truth results in miscreation, the projections of the ego. Yeah, the projections of the ego, so for me it's like manifesting from your subconscious, which is not entirely healed with the limiting beliefs and programs you've inherited. And then you are projecting from the ego. Okay, another page. Know first that this is fear. Fear arises from lack of love. The only remedy for lack of love is perfect love. Perfect love is the atonement. Yeah, so again, love versus fear. And it is emphasized throughout the whole book how important it is to choose always love over fear. And then you learn that you cannot judge. Then you cannot judge yourself, and nothing ever was wrong if you choose the loving thoughts. And that's the main concept behind the whole book. And so then I tried to look at the daily lessons, and I read only the titles, and it was so strong, the energy behind all those titles were so strong that I decided I'm gonna read first 50 titles, like all at once, and see how it goes. But for example, right now I opened the lesson 152, the power of decision is my own. So this is again, decide what you want, decide the words you want to live in, and just follow your decision, because in every manifestation technique, in every spiritual workshop, in every progress you want to do with yourself, with your life, it starts with the decision, and it's always the decision whether you want to choose love, whether you want to choose fear. And yeah, the power of decision is yours. I rule my mind, which I alone must rule. So it's lesson 236. So in a way, you need to rule over your mind, so become aware of what you think and become aware where those thoughts, those programs come from. Do they come from the place of love, or are they just unconscious beliefs and patterns that probably are not even yours, and you need to rule them? And of course, there are many, many techniques to do that. And this is just like a reminder. And another lesson, 253, myself is ruler of the universe. The whole universe, your universe, because you are your universe yourself, and you are the ruler of your universe. And if you acknowledge it and take responsibility, that changes a lot. I am affected only by my thoughts. Again, what you think creates your world. I receive what I request. I give my brother my gift. So this for me talks about the universe being a mirror of what you have in you. So one can say that in a way, for example, if you're paying someone in a shop or whatever, you're paying yourself, because there's only you in this universe. There's only you as a one with God. This is like animated reality at some point. And a lesson which I really, really like. My eyes, my tongue, my hands, my feet today have but one purpose: to be given Christ, to use to bless the world with miracles. This is a very powerful one. So I could go on and on like this for a very, very, very long time. Okay, so I have also lesson 253. What happens is what I desire. It says very clearly, what happens is what I desire. The only problem is that somehow sometimes the desires are from our subconscious, which is probably not healed, and you don't really know what you're doing, and there are some blockages there that doesn't allow you to fully embrace the power that is in you. But going back to what my original intention was, is to read out first 50 lessons, and I'm gonna see how it goes. Please give me a second. I need to open the book. So there is one lesson for each day, and there are some repetitions in between just to make your mind sink in it. And I highly suggest starting reading that. You can find it on the internet, but I would say book, it's like the best. And I really like the English version, even though I'm not a originally native English speaker. I find it easier to understand and the content to soak kind of in my field. And for those of you who are aware, there is also this edition called Urtext. This is like an original version without daily lessons, but it is a little bit different, and I find it really amazing. It's even better, I think. First 50 lessons. I will just go without naming the numbers. So I start. Nothing I see means anything. I have given everything I see all the meaning that it has for me. I do not understand anything I see. These thoughts do not mean anything. I am never upset for the reason I think. I am upset because I see something that is not there. I see only the past. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see nothing as it is now. My thoughts do not mean anything. My meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. I am upset because I see a meaningless world. A meaningless world endangers fear. God did not create a meaningless world. My thoughts are images that I have made. I have no neutral thoughts. I see no neutral things. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. I am determined to see. I am determined to see things differently. What I see is a form of vengeance. I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. I do not perceive my own best interests. I do not know what anything is for. My attacking thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. Above all else, I want to see. Above all else, I want to see things differently. God is in everything I see. God is in everything I see because God is in my mind. I am not the victim of the world I see. I have invented the world I see. There is another way of looking at the world. I could see peace instead of this. My mind is part of God's. I'm very holy. My holiness envelops everything I see. My holiness blesses the world. There is nothing my holiness cannot do. My holiness is my salvation. I am blessed as a son of God. God goes with me wherever I go. God is my strength. Vision is his gift. God is my source. I cannot see apart from him. God is the light in which I see. God is the mind which I think. God is the love in which I forgive.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you.